All right, so we've learned about scatter plots. Here we're doing a scatter plot. We have temperature, rainfall, and this is where Somewhereville. Of course, I'm coming in from a different location today. I'm down here at the bottom, so when we run this, you can actually see the plot up here and not get my face plastered over top of it. And so we have a scatter plot, which we've learned how to do already. But we have no annotations over them, right? How do we know which one's January, which one's June? We don't know. So what we need to do is as always, we make a list here of all our different months. And so January is the first set, February is the second set, March is the third set of these numbers in here. And then we have to use the graph.annotate. Again, graph is this one, and annotate the graph that we created. And we do the label, which is our the one part we're going to move, and we're going to put the X and Y values on there based on our X and Y values here. And sure enough, we get a label. And it looks awful. And the reason it looks awful is we're putting the dot at the same place we're putting the label. So they're both starting in the same location. And because we're using the X and Y location based on this data. Well, what if we move the number a little bit to the up, right? It's X and Y. So we do rainfall, so that we're going to move it just a smidge up off the dot there. Sure enough, we're off the dot. Everything looks good. Oh, no, it doesn't look good. We move September up over the top. How about we move it to the right? Instead of moving up, we can move it to the right. So we move it further to the right on the x-axis instead of changing the y-axis. Things look pretty good. We do that. Ooh, July's off there. Okay, so what we do is we go back to moving the x-axis, the y-axis. So we're going to move it up again, but this time we are going to set the limits of these two spots. So we're going to go to 6.2, which is actually going to raise this line up a bit. So now when we run it, see, we're at 6.2 is the top line. We have enough room for September to be up there, even if we put it above. So adding those labels to each one of the dots in the scatter plot makes the scatter plot a whole lot more useful for us, but it is a bit complex, and you have to tweak it a bit to try and get the exact location that you want.